Hey guys, welcome to an amazing new week of math learning. I'm going to make two videos to show you how to complete the 2 pages of this assignment. And I just want to start by pointing out the information up here at the top of the page. This is information that kids tend to just skip right over because they assume that, the teacher has explained this. But this is useful information if you're working at home independently and you have a question. You have a place value chart here that can help you. You have an example of expanded form, standard form, and number name form for this number, 92,888,100. And notice this notation here where it's showing you the arrows moving place value positions, and it's showing you that when you move one place value position to the left, each time you do that, you are multiplying by 10. You're getting 10 times greater. And every time you move one place value position to the right or move one place value position smaller, you get 1/10 as big, or you divide that quantity by 10. So this week we're going to kind of explore that a little bit more in detail and see what that means. Okay, so let's look at number 1. Number 1 asks us to think about how could we write 720,080 in expanded form with exponents? Okay, now you guys know I am a huge fan of using a place value chart for almost anything that involves these really big numbers. So let's go ahead and just start by writing 700,000 in expanded form with an exponent. Okay, so when I write 700,000 into my place value chart, you can see that I've got 7 groups of 100,000, and then no 10,000s, no thousands, no hundreds, no tens, no ones, and that's represented with all those zeros. So I can just kind of get rid of all those zeros that are taking up a lot of unnecessary space by representing 700,000 like this. Parentheses, 7 times 10 to the 5th power, close parentheses. That's the first part of my expression. Okay, so then we're going to add to that, let's see, 20,000. So I'm going to open up a new set of parentheses. 2 times 10. Now, how do I know what my exponent should be? I need to count my zeros. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 zeros. So I need 10 to the 4th power. And I can double check that because 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. And 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. Okay, so that's correct. Good. All right, let's see. So I've got 720,000. I have no thousands, and then no hundreds, and then just 80. So for that one, now one thing I noticed you guys doing that is getting you mixed up with expanded form is if you have no thousands, you don't need to write plus 0. You can just leave that completely out. So we're moving straight to our tens. So we're going to do 8 times 10 to the 1st power. And all of that together is equivalent to 720,080. Whoops. Come on, Miss Slim. Attention to detail. Here we go. 80. Okay. Number 2, write the number name for 43,080,700. Okay, I'm going to need some more space to do that. Okay, so I have to tell you guys for number 2, last week I kind of took it easy on you and I didn't really take off points for like misspelling word names for numbers or leaving out dashes or leaving out commas. But this week I'm going to be a little more strict with you. If we're trying to write this in word form, I want to see the commas in the correct place. I want to see dashes in between the digits that require dashes. So that would be 43 will have a dash, and that's it for that one. And I want to see the commas after every period. Now remember, the commas in word form are going to go in the same location that they go in number form after every group of 3 digits. Each group of 3 digits is called a period. So I'm going to see a comma here and here after my periods in word form. So I'm going to write it, let's see, 43. Now I have a comma here, so I need a comma in my word form as well. 80,000, comma, 700. That's it. Okay? Now, notice I do not have the word and anywhere in here. You do not use the word and for whole numbers. And is, we save that for decimal points. So it's not 43 and 80,000 and 700. If there was a decimal point there, that's the only place I would see the word and. But since there's no decimal point, it's not here. So I can get rid of that. Okay, moving along to number 3. You guys stay with me. I know it's hard to sit and listen to a video where the teacher's just explaining problem by problem, but this is important for our learning, so stay with me here. We're going to write the value of the given digits. So for number 3, it asks us to write the value of the 2, and there's more than one 2 in this number, 42,256. So I need to write the value of both of those 2's. So for this, I would suggest maybe just write a sentence since you have 2 different 2's, and you could write the value of the 2 in the thousands place and if you're doing this on Cami, you're probably going to be typing it, not handwriting it. The value of the 2 in the thousands place is, well, I've got 2 groups of 1,000, so that's a value of 2,000. And the value of the 2 in the hundreds place is going to be 200. The value of the 2, sorry for my messy handwriting, well, that's really bad. The value of the 2 in the hundreds place is 200. Okay, now I'm going to let you do number 4 and number 5 on your own. I don't think you need me to guide you through that step by step. But notice the value of the 2 for this one. Notice I didn't just put it's the value of the 2 is 1,000. That's one thing that you guys are getting mixed up on. And you're saying sometimes you're getting mixed up, and instead of saying the value of the digit, you're saying the place value position. So don't tell me this has a value of 1,000. This has a value of 2,000. This 2 has a value of 200. This 9 has a value of 9 million. This 9 has a value of 900,000. Okay, now for number 6, I want to see those exponents now, okay? So we're going to do this really big number in expanded form, and I want to see parentheses, and I want to see exponents. Okay, so let's get our place value chart going, and let's start by putting this really big number in our place value chart and see what the value of it is going to be. Now, when I'm feeling a little sleepy and tired, like I am right now, I usually will start putting these numbers into my place value chart, starting at the smallest place value position, and I just go over, and that way I kind of let the place value chart do the work for me in terms of figuring out how big this number really is. So don't be afraid to let this place value chart work for you. Okay, so it's 12,430,000. Think about that. 12 million. That's pretty big. Okay, so I need to put this in expanded form starting with my 10 millions place. So each place value position gets its own set of parentheses. And here I have one group of 10 million. And I'm going to represent 10 million by writing 10 to the 7th power. Plus, okay, I've done that one. Now I need to do 2 million. And for my 2 million, I'm going to represent that new set of parentheses, 2 times 10 to the 6th power. Plus, now I need to do my, let me cross these out. Okay, 100,000, so I've got 400,000. 4 times 10 to the 5th power plus, okay, 3 times 10, so for 30,000, that's 10 to the 4th power. Okay. All right, see how I'm using my place value chart to help me double check and triple check that I have the right number of zeros. For each of these place value positions, like if it's 2 million, I want to see 6 zeros because I've got 6 zeros here. For 400,000, I need to make sure I've got my exponent 5 because I've got 5 zeros here. And then do the same thing for number 7. So get your place value chart going, put this big number into your place value chart and write it in expanded form using exponents. Okay guys, we're coming around to the home stretch. You're doing amazing. We're going to do numbers 9 and 10 and then we're going to take a break. And tomorrow I'll have part 2 of this video showing you how to do problems 11 through, looks like there's 14. Yeah, 11 through 14. Okay, so let's push through and get these done. Then we'll be halfway done. So number 9, Sue and Jonah chose numbers for a place value game. Okay, that sounds fun. I like games. Sue chose the number 152,000. And Jonah chose 5 million for his number. And who chose the greater number? Explain how you know. And I'm going to go ahead and do that teacher thing where I really draw your attention to this word, explain. I want you to justify your thinking here. So we've got Sue has a number, Jonah has her number, and you're going to have to tell me which is bigger. Here are those two numbers written out, and I want to see a sentence. Since you're doing this on Cami, you're going to be typing it. I want to see a sentence that tells me which number is bigger, and I want to see why you think so. Jonah's got 5 million, Sue has 152,000. Okay, moving on to number 10. This problem says, one day the state fair total attendance was 126,945. Holy moly, that means that more than 100,000 people went to a state fair in one day. That's a pretty big state fair. And it's telling us to round 126,945 to the nearest 100,000, nearest 10,000, and nearest 1,000. Okay, so it's giving us 3 different things to do. We need to round it to the nearest 100,000, round it to the nearest 10,000, and then round it to the nearest 1,000. And then it asks us to think about which of these rounded amounts is closest to the actual attendance. Okay, so this question has 4 different things that it's asking us to do. And I know that you guys practiced rounding a lot in 4th grade, so I'll just do a really quick review of that. Okay, so when I think about rounding, I like to always start by visualizing a number line. And I picture the number that I'm working with located right smack in the middle of my number line. So we've got 126,945. And then I think about 2 additional locations on the number line. If I'm rounding to the nearest 100,000, I take my location that I'm working with and I try to kind of hop upwards to the next 100,000, or moving backwards to the smaller 100,000 location. So if I were to, increase this to the next 100,000, it would be 200,000. Whereas if I rounded down, I would round 126,000 down to 100,000. Okay, so I'm going to use this little memory trick that I'm sure you guys, I'm thinking your fourth grade teachers probably taught this to you. If you're rounding to the nearest 100,000, look at your 10,000s place, and if this digit is 5 or more, they say go up a floor, meaning like pretend like you're on an elevator and you're gonna round up to 200,000. And if it's 4 or less, you're gonna round down. So since this 2 is less than 4, it means that my location is actually closer to 100,000. So for this one, I would round down. Okay, so now we're going to round to the nearest 10,000. So now I have to visualize, is 126,945 closer on my number line to 130,000, or is it closer to 120,000? Okay, so now I need to look at my thousands digit, and since it's greater than 5, it's telling me that I need to round up to 130,000. Okay, 126,945 is closer to 130,000 than it is to 120,000. Last, I'm going to round to the nearest thousands place. So 126,000, this middle location does not change. Okay, and I'm going to round it either to 127,000 or to 126,000. So now I need to look, this is the digit that's going to help me round now. Since I'm rounding to my thousands place, my hundreds digit is the one that I look at, and that is definitely greater than 5, so I do need to round up to 127,000. Okay, so in one example, I rounded down, but then in my other two, I rounded up. So for the last part of the question, it says, which of these rounded amounts is closest to my original actual attendance? So I'm choosing between 100,000, 130,000, and 127,000. You guys have to figure out which of these is closest to 126,945. And I can think of a couple different ways you could solve that. I'm curious to see what you guys think about that. I'm not going to answer that one for you. I'm going to let you puzzle it out. All right, you guys have done amazing. You've persisted through this long video. I'm so proud of you. I will see you on Wednesday for our live lesson, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Let me know if I can help you with anything at all.